everybody. Here we are again. Welcome back to Young Adults Home Groups. We are back in John 14, if you want to open your Bibles quickly there. Just a couple notes again. If you are symptomatic with anything that they are saying is connected to coronavirus, please feel free to stay home. In other words, don't come. As sad as we are going to be to miss you. I think you all know that, but just want to reiterate that I would not ever want to say anything to stir up any fear. I don't think we need to be afraid at all. I think you're all pretty much with me. But just to note that we do want to be responsible and loving, not only to the other people in our group, but to the people that the people in our group live with and all that. So just please exercise, a lot of caution there, as much as I think any of us would miss being together for 1 week. So we are plowing on through John 14. We're not moving too fast. Tonight I want to cover verses 12 through 24. I suggest maybe backing up and starting at verse 8 of chapter 14, because verse 12 is sort of a continuation of Jesus' response to Philip's statement or question in verse 8 about show us the Father and it is enough for us. I want to read a quick quote from Herman Ritterboss on this passage, the central point. He's actually talking about verse 13 and 14 and 15. But just, I think this kind of applies to the whole section. He says, the main point is that by putting so much stress here and in what follows on prayer in his name, Jesus is pledging to his disciples that he is not withdrawing from them by his departure, but will be able, because of his heavenly glory, to give them everything they need for the continuation of his work on earth. And he refers them to prayer as the way of his continuing fellowship with them. Let me just say that again and underline these points. Jesus is pledging to his disciples that he is not withdrawing from them in his departure, but instead he will be able to give them everything they need because of his heavenly glory, everything they will need for the continuation of his work on earth. And he refers them to prayer as the way of his continuing fellowship with them. And there really are two main concerns in this passage that are sort of woven throughout. I sort of look at these passages all week. I'm not even really sure that I included these in the questions. I might go back and augment the questions that I'm giving your group leaders to guide your discussion. But I do want you guys to notice the twin realities here of the presence of Jesus with him and prayer up to him. And then especially the other thing that I don't think Ritterboss really mentions there, which is the keeping of his commands. He's really talking here about keeping his commandments, and he's really saying that he's going to be with us. And so what I would like you to think about is the connection between those two things. That's just one thing. There's other things to talk about in this passage, but the connection between the keeping of the commands of Jesus when we can't see Jesus' body and the presence of Jesus with us when we can't see Jesus' body. How do those things go together? How do they interact? What is their relationship to each other? You might already be thinking some things. So notice how we keep sort of going back to those two topics in this passage. We are, again, I just want to keep saying this, we should see ourselves as being directly addressed by this passage in the uncertainty of the times we live in our inability to walk up to Jesus and ask him a question face to physical face like these disciples are going into, in our need for his presence with us and his guidance of us. We just live in the time addressed by this passage. So see this passage as addressing you personally, see it as addressing you as a group, understand it as addressing all of us in our different home fellowships gathered around in the entire Church of Calvary Philly and the entire world of Christians here in America as we're really going through a unique thing all together. Pray for each other, love each other, enjoy and take advantage of your time together. And we will hopefully, Lord willing, see each other next week. So God bless you.